In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A Few Good Marks. I am your host, Kieran.
No, I'm
and
the
I'm
host.
joined. You wish, mate. I'm your host, Kieran, and I'm joined by Alex.
Hello.
And Willow. Is that what we're doing for you? It's just, oh, we're all very refreshed. No wonder we've not got any listeners. Anyway, so today we are on FedWatch, and before we kick off into what? Grow up, man!
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah, because you're 27.
I'm 27.
You're old enough.
Fuck you.
How old are you?
25.
Oh, okay. I was that by two. So as we do, we'll go through the news before we get on to Hell in a Cell. So first point of call, straight after SummerSlam, the Shield are back.
Yay!
For no apparent reason other than to get Roman over. Well done. Oh well.
You've seen Friends?
No, I've never seen Friends. I'm 25 years old. I've never seen Friends.
That's appalling.
Really?
That's actually appalling.
You did that though?
Yeah, no, that's the two fists bumping together because we're obviously not a video podcast. We have to describe everything.
I've seen Friends.
Anyway, so the Shield are back, and that's how interesting that topic is. SummerSlam next year is moving to Toronto, so they're moving out of Brooklyn, which I think is a good thing because I think the crowd at SummerSlam was shite.
What do you mean?
Like the crowd, they just weren't into. They're not as good as other crowds have been. Haven't I think the Brooklyn crowd, especially
that's Kevin
been
Owens winning the belt then.
in Toronto. Yeah, I think they're just because they've had SummerSlam at Brooklyn for like the last. Oh, for fuck's sake. They've had it for like the last 5 years or something. So
Has it been that long?
It's been like 3-4 years.
Yeah, it's been several years. So I think it's a good time to move it on, and should hopefully have some fresher crowds. Drew and Dolph are the new Raw Tag Team Champions, which is sort of important to know going into this pay-per-view. Thought I'd mention it. What do we think of Drew and Dolph? As tag titles?
I like Drew.
Yeah,
I like Drew.
not a lot of love for Dolph in this house.
I love Dolph, but I think that he needs to be doing something else. I think he's there to get Drew over.
Yeah, it's hard to.
And someone's going to turn somewhere down the line, and it'll probably be Drew, so that he can be the big bad heel, who the belt goes on, and Ziggler's the one that jobs out again. And I just think that it's so predictable, and he can do better.
Fair enough. I would totally agree. Although I've heard rumours that they're just building Drew up just so he can be a viable contender to Roman, just to get knocked back down again, which is fucking bollocks. Get him drafted. Like, literally anybody who's decent at the moment, I'm saying just praying for him to get drafted to SmackDown. Praying for him.
Why?
Because I don't want him to get squashed by Roman.
Yeah, but they seem more fucking high on AJ at the minute. Considering how long he's held the belt. Hardly ever been beat.
I think they're only doing these long title reigns so that whenever they do a top 5 longest title reign, CM Punk no longer shows up because Brock's just done it. AJ will surpass him soon enough. I would imagine Roman's going to do it with this run. Pete Dunne has now surpassed him. All these long title reigns. Yeah, well, that was more to get Demolition off the top perch, but I'm talking single WWE Championship runs more than any other belt. So especially with the top 2. That's the reason I can see why they're doing these long title reigns. But anyway, 3 more things to do. Jason Jordan may be out for good. Same sort of problem as
That's sad.
Same sort of problem as Paige, apparently, which is sad because he did have a bright future in NXT, and it would have been interesting to see where they actually would have gone with the Kurt Angle storyline,
which seemed to be going nowhere anyway. So.
I don't know. I think that could have been. It was slow. But it was, it could have built to something that, and it could have genuinely have turned, if Jason Jordan had come out and said, I've tricked you, I'm not your long lost son. Granted, we'd have all gone. We all said that. Yeah, exactly. We would have all seen it coming. But these little kids who don't know, who wouldn't have known, that would have made him a massive heel in their eyes. Also, it would, it still would have been. You would have still said, "Oh, he's just tricked him. What a dickhead." You know what I mean?
Or you could have just looked at it and went, he's not good.
My black son, my black son. Also, he's a ninja. So that we hopefully Jason Jordan will be back. However, somebody who isn't going to be back anytime soon is Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy has retired.
Has he officially retired?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Believe
so he's like officially gone forever.
Officially gone, which I think is an absolute shame. Not like fair enough.
He should have got a singles run before he got.
I think he should have definitely put somebody like they should have broken him and Bray up again to give him that to give Bray a little bit of the rub. You know what I mean? I've had Bray Wyatt retire Matt Hardy. You imagine like how, and you could even have booked it from between now till TLC and had Matt Hardy gone out in a ladders match. For Matt Hardy's contract. On you know what I mean? If Matt wins it,
how come he has retired and Jeff hasn't? I thought they was both on the same contract.
Well, I assume Jeff wants to keep his going. Matt just may not have renewed it. But obviously, Matt's got this, got a family and has 2 kids and stuff like that.
Jeff?
Jeff's not as open about his
I think
personal life.
Matt's lower back's fucked as well.
As you can imagine.
Do you know what made me laugh? The way that Matt was like, oh my god, I'm retiring, like I can't do these crazy bumps anymore, like it's took too much of a toll on my body. And then Jeff was like, hurled my fucking beer.
I'll show you a crazy bump, mate, which we'll come on to. But one thing I do want to discuss, since we are a wrestling podcast, the PWI 500, which the full list came out.
Oh, I know, I can't believe I didn't make it.
Go ahead, mate, get yourself up there. I mean, what were you like, 501? just missed out.
I just missed out.
Just missed out.
I think I was out. I don't want to be big-headed, but I think I was only 502.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right, fair enough.
A bit more embarrassing, but
next year, eh?
I know.
So, the PWI 500 came out. I'm only going to run down the top 10 because that's sort of the only really important bit, and also this came out a while ago. So, in at number 10 is The Miz, which is
I agree.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's had even in kayfabe wise, he's actually had a pretty decent year. He's won the Intercontinental a bunch of times, and had a good run with it.
Why can't I see?
Because I'm about to go through it and announce them.
Fucking Google.
Oh, for God's sake. Number 9 is Naito. Number 9 is Naito, who
I agree.
Yeah, he is up 3 places from last year, which is fair play. Number 8 is Cody. Who's up 25 places.
He's had a good year.
He has had a good year.
Has.
He's the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He's next in line for the IWGP US title. He's been Ring of Honor World Champion or something like that as well. Fair play. Number 7 is Roman Reigns, who is down 3 places.
But I also agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still a workhorse.
When you look at the rest of this list, it's hard to disagree that the people on this list.
Well, actually, I would disagree with one.
Would you agree with the next one up, which number 6 is Braun, who is up 28 places in the top 10? That's the biggest jump. 28 places from last year.
He has had a massive.
He's had a boss. He's won the Greatest Royal Rumble. Won Money in the Bank. Has decimated many a person. Is incredibly powerful. You know what I mean? In kayfabe wise, he's very, very, very strong right now. At number 5, up 11 places is Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Love our Seth.
He's not sure why or how, but
I
guess he's just put in really good matches and has gone very, very over.
Suppose so.
Can't argue with that.
No.
In at number 4 is Lesnar, up 21 places.
Fuck.
It's just simply because he's had the belt. Simply because he's had the belt.
With 2 F's at the end of that.
Fuck off.
I reckon it's just because he's had the belt longer. And you remember, and PWI is in kayfabe as well, so fair enough.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Top 3, down 2 places. Last year's number 1, it's Okada. Aw, poor Okada. Poor Okada. I feel really sad for Okada. He's although he's going back to the Rainmaker now, he's not being as crazy as he was. Then we all loved his balloons. Yeah. We all loved the balloons, and we all popped when we saw him in Manchester. But I watched that back the other day actually, and I didn't realise how.
Where can I get the full list?
I don't know.
Of what?
Of PWI. Oh, they might not have released it yet.
I don't think they have released it yet.
No, I know that New Japan or somebody from New Japan leaked the position of every New Japan wrestler on it.
Where's the Young Bucks?
I don't know, but I do, because I think it was Great O'Khan, the guy who we saw. Do you remember the guy we saw at the beginning of Manchester?
Oh yeah.
He shared something about the Cubes being really disappointed about how low he ranked. I think he only ranked in like the mid 800s, something like that. Anyway, in at number 2,
mid 800s.
like 800 and like 23,
on the
something like that.
On the top 500.
That's a good point.
I bet that
maybe he didn't even rank in the top 500 then, because I know they do rank outside of that. They just only released the 500. Number 2 is AJ Styles. Obviously, he's been WWE champion for quite a while. And in at number 1, up 4 places, taking his rightful position, is the God, the Cleaner. It's Kenny Omega.
Yes!
Absolutely nobody.
However,
Nobody's had a better year than him.
Ever.
Nobody has had a better year than him. How many 5-star matches does anybody else on the planet have at this point in time?
Sorry, what? No, I beg to differ.
Go on.
What about the Young Bucks?
They're not going to be number 1 though, are they?
Why?
Because they're a separate entity. This is for sole wrestlers.
Okay, well I prefer Matt Jackson. So Matt Jackson should be number 1. Nick Jackson should be number 2.
I mean, if you want to, I'm not getting into
I'm going to make my own list.
Moving on to Hell in a Cell 2018. Kicking things off with the pre-show match, which was for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The New Day were defending against Aiden English and Rusev, the team of Rusev Day.
I mean, the minute it was pre-show, you knew who was going over.
Oh yeah, without doubt. They're never going to change titles on a pre-show.
Imagine the uproar if they did.
I know, yeah, where half the people aren't even in the arena yet. Who knew Aiden English could fly? He did a tope suicida in this match. It was quite impressive.
Best move ever.
But it was a decent opener, but it was nothing special. It was exactly what it needed to be. It just got the fans up and going. So, on to the main card. First up, we have the first Hell in a Cell match of the night. It was Randy Orton against Jeff Hardy. Lovely.
You bet.
I know.
That's a good one.
Slight water break there. Hope you enjoyed the sound of our gulping and swallowing there.
I got that picked it up.
That's gross. There was actually let's get this out of the way. What do we think of the red cell?
I personally did not give a fuck. Everyone was moaning, and I was like, I really don't care, because the point is, I hate steel cage matches for 2 reasons. First reason is, I feel like if I was there watching it, it'd be annoying because you couldn't see.
That's a big complaint they've had about silver cages. It's a lot harder to see into them.
And then secondly, when you are watching it on TV, they don't show you the cage anywhere because they still film in the ring, and there's still the ring in the cage. So I don't know why people were so bothered. Because it was
just a distracting.
It was. I don't think it was. I mean, it was just the background when they were filming inside the cell. The background was just more red. You know what I mean?
It just looked more like
even
the crowd.
even the whole audience was on red as well. It was like, come on, guys, contrast a little here. Throw us some, throw some blue in there. Yeah. Something. Give us something. You know what I mean?
I just didn't care. Like I feel like everyone just got too irate about it. Yeah. And I just didn't care.
Yeah, I heard it, and then I heard, oh my god, I hate it. I was like, it's just the colour of a cage. Apart from the fact that they're going to bring out a playset with a red Hell in a Cell now. Like,
I know.
fair
That's
enough.
probably the only reason that they've done it.
Pretty much. It's just to get the kids involved. I don't know. Anyway, there was a nice setup for a poetry in motion onto the outside. I'm pretty sure that Randy set the chair up, went to throw Jeff into it. Jeff reversed it, threw Orton over the top of the chair. Orton had his back against the cage, and then Jeff hit the poetry in motion.
This match was the only one really worth watching. If you're going to watch the full pay-per-view.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Should have been the main event because of the stuff that they did.
Yeah, including a reverse suplex through an upside-down ladder, which was nasty. It did look cool. This was super gross. Orton looking underneath the ring, brings out a toolbox, grabs a screwdriver, and proceeds to put it through Jeff Hardy's ear. As someone who's had stretchers in the past,
I bet it stank.
well,
because they do smell. I've stretched my ear and it stank.
they do, but they only stink when they're like still going through stretching. After a while, if you're on the same one, it tends to clear up a little. Mine really at 6s, like they've gone down a lot. But this, like, he stuck the screwdriver through, started twisting it, pulled it away a little bit. It was fucking horrible.
Unlucky.
It was gross. But it was like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you can't bust people open anymore, and you can't like go, oh, that looks nasty.
This was worse.
Yeah. Exactly. It was, but that's the measures they've had to go through to actually get the reaction, which I'm not complaining because it was freaking amazing, but it was super, super gross. Then Jeff proceeded to whip Randy Orton with the wrong side of his belt, which lacerated his back.
Oh, was that what it was?
Is that what it was?
Because the inside of a studded belt, because they've all got the way the studs are held in, they go in like with 2 prongs that you fold inwards to hold it on.
I've studied a jacket in that
So
before.
then I assume they'll have come loose or something when Orton's been whipping Jeff, and they'll have come loose. So then he's on the wrong side doing him like that, and then the stud ends. The bottom of the studs have gone into his back, and that's what.
Is that what it was? We was trying to find
It was his back. Anyway.
I thought it missed a spot with like a rake or something.
I don't know what happened to his
leg.
That looked horrible.
Yeah, it looked like a proper gash.
There was a bit of. Do you see the bit of? He put it on Instagram.
Skin,
his skin hanging off. That was manky.
I think he might have like caught on a screwdriver or something, maybe. The only thing I can think of.
Yeah, gashed on the thing. I don't know. There was then a swanton with the chair laying over Orton, which was a nice spot. Jeff still killing himself. Orton kicked out. Oh my god! Then Jeff Hardy sets up Orton on a table, sets up a small ladder and a rather big ladder. Jeff goes to climb up the ladder. I thought he was just going to do like his leapfrog leg drop thing that he normally does. It was in a decent position to go through it, legs split either side and send him straight through it. Jeff then he climbed up the smaller one, then got onto the bigger one, and then proceeded to like sort of swing off the top of the cell, and then Orton moved, and Jeff went crashing down,
and it hurt inside.
Smashed through this table, and
looks horrible.
it looked horrible. Like, I genuinely was like, oh shit, he's hit his head there. He is fucking well gone. And then the ref's like, no, we need help. And it's like, oh, this is kayfabed. Oh, okay then. And they start raising the cage. It's like, oh, please don't end it like this. It's a Hell in a Cell match. And then Orton was like, no, get the 3 count. Get the 3. You do your job. You count to 3 like a fucking heel. It was lovely. Orton got the win, and we assume Hardy's going to be off TV for a while.
Maybe it's to say bye to Matt.
Could be.
Get him a little country villa.
Maybe that was actually his
retirement as well. I don't think so. Right. I think Jeff's still got another good run.
A lot left in the tank.
He's younger as well, isn't he? So, he's got more. But yeah, thoughts. So as you've already said, like this probably was the best match of the night. And probably
really was.
It probably is the only match worth watching. But yeah, moving on. Next up was for the SmackDown Women's title, Becky Lynch taking on the champion Charlotte Flair. This was genuinely one of the only feuds I was interested in at all coming into this.
And it was a bit of a shitty match. Well, it wasn't shitty, but it was just weird.
It wasn't what this was the same
choreographed.
This was the same sort of thing as what the WWE title match should have been like. This was an angry feud going in. Becky hates Charlotte for stealing her spotlight. Always and then they have a technical wrestling match. Like, if you were having a match to see who was the better wrestler, fair enough, but you weren't. You were pissed off that Becky wasn't proving anything. She wasn't trying to prove she was the better wrestler than Charlotte. She was pissed off that Charlotte was always stealing the limelight.
And it was a very face-on-face style match.
Yeah, it felt
until Becky got a bit of heat, and that went until like 10 minutes in.
No, absolutely. It was weird. But then we were just watching the match back just then, and we've kind of like, and I was like saying, oh, it's she's rolled out of the ring there because she's too close to the ropes to make the save, And I was like, oh, that's Charlotte's been quite clever there instead of that. And then the finish came straight afterwards, which was the quick roll up and the pin. So then Alex was like, oh, do you actually reckon she was meant to tap there instead?
Yeah, it looked a bit weird because Charlotte...
that's a very good point.
Because the finish was a roll up where Charlotte hit the spear, but then after it, Charlotte sold.
Yeah.
Which was strange. I feel like that's something you would only do.
Yeah, I think you like, if anything she was going to sell, you'd sell the shock.
Thinking.
You'd sell the shock, wouldn't you? Oh my god, I've just been pinned.
Yeah.
But she was like, she was selling the shoulder and selling disappointment. It was. But Becky stole one and is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. I thought it was a good match. Like I
just thought it was okay. I think like the wrestling was good, but it wasn't good for the feud that they was in.
No, I agree. With that. It was a good match. It didn't suit the feud.
It was a good match, but not for them. I expected more.
Oh, I didn't. I thought this was pretty good. Like what it needed to be. Apart from it wasn't, because it wasn't to do with the feud. Anyway, moving on. We have hello Raw announce team. Nice of you guys to show up. 3 matches into the night. It was the champions Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre for the Raw Tag Team Champions, should I say, defending against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Until the announce team reminded me mid-match, I forgot this was for the tag titles. That's how little the tag titles just mean now.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten that this was at all for the tag titles.
It was weird that they'd won them anyway. Like, it was like unexpected, so no one cared.
It was, however, actually, this match was really good as well. Like, it built up and it built up and it built up, and was really, really good, I thought. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I was going into this match like, alright, whatever, we'll give this a watch. I'm not going to be on my phone throughout it, I'm going to actually pay attention. And then, and then the finish was absolutely brilliant. Rollins goes to pick Ziggler up for a Falcon's Arrow or a suplex type thing, doesn't realise that that Drew's still in play. Drew runs in, Claymore kick, takes out Seth, and Dolph picks up the victory. It was really, really well done, and really put over the Claymore as well. Dolph and Drew retain. Thoughts on this match?
Thought it was good, but the ending was bullshit. Like, sorry for spoilers.
Oh really? Did you not like it?
Yeah, I thought that the wrong people went over. I
don't at all.
I thought that
Seth and Dean don't need it.
Yeah, but for me, it felt like the reason that Drew and Ziggler had those titles was for like transition.
Oh no, I don't think so at all.
Anyway.
I think they're trying to. Why not put them on 2 of your bigger guys to bolster it up a bit?
And to be honest,
the Raw tag division at the moment's crap. You may as well give it to 2 guys.
Yeah, but if they knew that they was having the Shield get back together, and they knew that they was having Roman stay over,
they didn't. That's the thing. This is the thing with the Shield. I think they've gone, oh shit, let's throw the Shield back together. They've done it on a whim. There's a reason that those 2 didn't come out wearing Shield gear tonight. Do you notice that? They weren't the Shield. They were Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They were not the Shield.
But the commentary was talking about them as the Shield.
They were, which is true, but that's because because they've gone into a rush and they've gone like, oh shit, all right, we've got to try and push this as these 2 guys. So what's
going on with the Shield then?
I don't know. You know what? I don't think it doesn't. For me, it doesn't make sense that Rollins is the IC champion, doesn't need backup. Ambrose has just come back from injury and is possibly the hottest he's ever been, doesn't need the Shield. Roman is the Universal Champion, doesn't need the Shield. The only reason the Shield are together is to make sure Roman's getting cheered. Borderline. That's the only reason they are together. Agree?
Yeah.
There you go. But anyway, Dolph and Drew are still your Raw Tag Team Champions. Moving on. It is time for the WWE title match. Samoa Joe taking on defending champion AJ Styles. Alex.
Sorry, news.
Oh, hello.
Sasha Banks is injured and she's been pulled from all upcoming events.
Oh, no.
That's not Sasha Banks.
That's sad.
Just wanted to announce that.
Moving on. I mean, at least it was relevant to the top to wrestling this time, not about how fucking plastic gloves are made.
Well, do you want anything?
No! Right. What are you doing? What have you got? Oh, Skittle break. Skittles.
You brought them on purpose, didn't you?
I actually didn't. They're American. And
American?
try the purple ones, they're horrible.
American Skittles. Well, the blackcurrant.
And they're grape.
Grape. Ugh. Ugh. Man, America, get your fucking sweets together.
No, not grape. Not grape. No, it shouldn't be a thing.
That's not okay. Give us an orange one. Oh no, the aftertaste is horrible.
But the rest all taste very processed and like diabetes, which is amazing.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Sorry, just cut all this.
But then one's an apple, not lime.
Ooh, I think I can be behind that. I get behind apple.
Have the apple.
Give it to her. What's the red one?
Strawberry.
Oh, okay.
Strawberry?
Could have been cherry or something, you know.
No.
No, strawberry. That is actually quite nice.
Apple one's quite nice. It's very appley.
One should hope so.
Well, it's not overly appley, it's just not.
It is the right type of apple.
Yeah, it's a good level of apple.
A good consistency of apple.
I don't like the grape ones.
Neither do I. I don't want anything else to do with them. That's suck. You two are fucking trouble on this podcast, man.
I'm not the one who brought Skittles.
That'll make a nice break.
Yeah, outbreak questionarium type thing.
Skittle break.
Skittle break. The
I'll
candy
bring
break.
sour ones next time.
Oh, the candy break!
Yeah.
Damn it! Why aren't you here, man? Fuck.
The sour Skittles.
That's gonna be the new thing. Let's have that in.
Yeah, we should like bring sweets.
We're genuinely at the halfway point as well. You can not
Honestly,
find that anywhere.
sour Skittles from America are covered in sour stuff. They're miles better than ours.
Oh,
They're
well done.
like actual. I'll bring them next time. I'll
Do
bring
it.
We should do a thing like where
I've got
we
berry
review
flavour as
candy.
well.
Skittle
Like,
break.
yeah, we should do like candy reviews.
Lots of good candy.
like, oh,
just
well.
sit candy down and just like, so, how's life?
No, I'd be like, I've got a bounty, yeah.
Yeah, no one wants a bounty.
I know,
Fuck you, I like bounties.
No.
Picks bounties.
I love a good bounty, me.
God.
That's just weird.
Oh, I'm gonna eat this bounty right now. Just if I could get in the
Candy break.
bounty.
That's gross.
Our ASMR listeners will love that. I'm eating a bounty.
Is that nice?
Are we ready to go back in?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got bounty in my mouth.
How was your bounty?
Bountiful in flavour.
Fucking get out. You can do better than this.
Oh yeah, because then we could put a podcast together of just the candy
Of just
breaks.
the candy breaks. I have to do it like
Best of the candy break.
throughout the year. The best of the
And
candy
you
break.
said I don't contribute.
No, I gotta give you that. This is probably one of your better ideas. I will give you this. Right, ready to jump back in?
Yeah.
And so, on to our next match. Oh, I hate you so much. And on to our next match for the WWE title. Samoa Joe taking on defending champion AJ Styles. Once again, as we've said for the Becky and Charlotte match, this match didn't necessarily suit the feud, but it was still a solid match.
It was a bit weird.
Yeah, it was like...
Why is AJ just... I know you're saying about the CM Punk thing, but it's just like getting like so predictable that it's unpredictable. Do you know what I mean? Like you think, oh, it's predictable, he's had the championship for ages, he's going to lose it, and then he fucking returned it.
Exactly, that's the joy of it. You never know when it's going to end.
A little bit, yeah, that's a good point to
I'd rather
make.
just know.
What?
I'd rather just know.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that?
I don't know.
The best fun is not knowing.
Brian Alvarez tweeted out asking if anybody knew how many, since AJ had the belt, how many screwy finishes he'd been involved in. Somebody touted it up.
What, screwy finishes that he did?
No, that he's been involved in as the champion. So just screwy finishes in general.
Right.
Right. Number 1, Payback 2016. Number 2, Money in the Bank 2016. Number 3, Backlash 2016. Number 4, No Mercy 2016. Number 5, TLC 2016. Number 6, Backlash 2017. Number 7, Battleground 2017. Number 8, SummerSlam 2017. Number 9, Royal Rumble 2018. Number 10, Fastlane 2018. Number 11, Greatest Royal Rumble 2018. Number 12, Backlash 2018. Number 13, SummerSlam 2018. Number 14, Hell in a Cell 2018.
So all the pay-per-views then.
14 times.
What even were the finishes to those matches? I can't remember.
I've no idea, but they've all been scurry finishes. That's all I know. SummerSlam for when he got DQ'd, didn't he? Because he was battering Joe with a chair.
That's not a screwy finish, though.
Well, as in, there's not a decisive winner. I assume that's what that means. It didn't
Why are they doing that to him?
It didn't end in a definitive pinfall or submission. I assume that's what that means.
Why are they doing that to him in every pay-per-view? That seems a bit...
This is what people...
Well, it's a good way to get more length out of a program.
But like people are saying, they're so behind AJ, they're so behind, he's not lost the belt, and he's like, are they really? They're not really giving
this happened all the time.
They're not really giving him these wins.
In the olden days, that's how he...
So why has he had the belt for so long then?
We've said back to the CM Punk thing.
Yeah, but why give him it in the first place if you're just going to keep screwing him?
That's how they did it in the olden days.
Don't ask me.
They were always doing screwy finishes back then.
Fair enough.
Bruno Sammartino and all the boys.
But the finish wasn't great, as we've said. What happened was AJ was locked in a Coquina clutch, and was it a Coquina clutch? I don't think it was it? Was it a triangle choke or something like that? Don't know. Joe had AJ in a submission. AJ rolled up Joe's shoulders. The ref was going for the pinfall, but Joe was claiming that AJ tapped out before the full count, which a camera angle that they showed afterwards did actually show it that AJ did tap out after the ref's 2 count, not the 3 count. So by rights, Joe is the technicalities. Joe is the new WWE champion, which is fair enough. I think that's a lot of what we had. Actually, we'll address predictions at the end of this as well because we didn't do that. AJ's still your champion in a messed up way, but nonetheless, it's still your champion. And I think, and they've now set up a no disqualification, falls count anywhere match for Summer Super Showdown in Australia. But the thing is, how does that help Joe? You know what I mean? Surely, if anything, it should be a submissions match.
Yeah,
that would have been a much more sensible
match or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, where there's got to be where you can't win anything that you can't win by pinfall. You know what I mean? Last man standing, anything. I don't care if AJ's just had one. I get them with another one against Joe. Should have been anything else.
I agree.
But now this plays more into AJ's hands because he can batter the shit out. In the long run, this feud does deserve a false. Does deserve this no DQ false count anywhere type style of a match because. Because that's what the feud is. It's become this bitter feud about Joe taunting AJ with his family and all that stuff. Fair enough. That's what that's what it was leading to. But that particular finish does not necessitate that. You know what I mean? It's 2 different halves. The booking to end that match could have been so much better.
I honestly think that going to WWE was the worst thing AJ Styles ever did.
I absolutely agree with you. Especially the way New Japan's gone.
Because he's not as good as he used to be. Well, he is, but
he's got to conform.
He's not allowed
to
do
the WWE
style. Stuff that got him so over in the first place. That's the issue.
And
if you watch him in Impact when he was at his best, when he was in TNA,
it's the same with Joe.
He was a lot better.
Well, it's very sterile now, WWE, isn't it? So,
which we will address it.
Yeah.
Next up was Miz and Maurice against Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. I have 3 notes for this match.
I thought it wasn't actually that bad.
3 notes. Didn't watch it. Don't care. Miz and Bryan should have been a one and done feud. Done. Do not give a shit about this match.
It wasn't actually that bad.
I didn't watch it. Didn't care.
Maurice,
I was catching up on what Twitter had to say about the rest of the pay-per-view.
Sorry to say this, but Maurice actually impressed me.
I mean, I can't even argue because I didn't watch it. All I saw was the finish, which was shit. That's it.
I can't remember the finish.
It was a really bad roll-up. That's all I remember from it. It was really bad. And it's really, really got under my skin that WWE spend ages not clearing Daniel Bryan, clear him, make him sign this big contract, and this is the fucking feud they throw him in.
Yeah,
he probably wanted
mixed type. Don't get me wrong, him versus The Miz.
He wanted this feud.
Him versus The Miz. That was a feud that was building while he was off and should have been one and done at SummerSlam.
No, I fully reckon that he wanted Brie in on this. The way that
the only reason Brie and Maurice are in this is because Total Bella's ratings are down and they need to get Miz and Mrs. up. ratings up as well. That's the only reason that Brie and Nikki came back in the first place. It's because Total Bellas' ratings are down, and also the Miz and Mrs. wants pushing as well.
How do you know?
It's WWE. You just know. Let's be honest. You know what I mean.
Fair enough.
That's just the way I feel about it. I was just a bit like, fuck this. So that was, I just think it's a bit despicable that they've kept Daniel Bryan. You made him sign this big new contract. He was threatening he was going to go back to Ring of Honor. Was probably going to be on All In if he'd quit.
Imagine that.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Have you reviewed All In without me?
We have, haven't you? We have. Sorry.
Did you say what I told you to say?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we
received your instructions.
We did.
Okay.
Candy read it out as well.
Okay.
He was your co-champion.
I can imagine him reading it out.
Exactly, he did a good justice. I'll play it back at the end. Okay. On to the next match, final 2 matches of the night. Alexa Bliss going up against Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title. It was nice to see Ronda in a bit of jeopardy this time. Nice to see her do a little bit of selling. But
we was losing no matter who won this match. The crowd aren't behind Ronda. Like, everyone thought that there was going to be... I remember when she first came and you said to me, I was like, oh, what have they done this for? This is so bad. Like, she's never going to get over. And you was like, she will. She's massive. She's in UFC. And she was over for what? A month. She was literally over for a month. The minute they put her in that title picture, the crowd fucking hated her.
I think she was one of those things where
she was pushed into the title picture way too quickly. But then, from WWE's
and it really didn't help that she said, I want to earn my spot as a champion, and then just got put in it anyway.
Absolutely agree. Could not agree more.
They should have done like a sort of Andre the Giant type thing with it, where they only use her on special occasions for the first bit, and then
but bring her in what they should have done with Goldberg.
Yeah, like only bring them in in little bits, so you don't see them all the time, you don't get bored of them,
and then have them go full time. Yeah, I completely agree. Have her come in, have a feud at SummerSlam, which is going to be have her face someone like Mickey James, like a
veteran.
Yeah, exactly. Have her face like Mickey James, whatever. Have her come back for Survivor Series, stick her in women Raw, the Raw women's team. Have her be the sole survivor of the Raw women's. We could definitely book this entirely better. I feel like we should do. You remember what culture used to do that? How they should have booked. We should just start doing that because it's
I know. Yeah, I feel like we should do that.
Let's start doing that. Future podcasts coming to you soon. But yeah, this was all right. This match was all right. It was
okay.
It was all right. It was all right. It was nice to see Ronda do some selling. She was selling the ribs, and the thing that really impressed me was she did a really nice gut wrench powerbomb because it's a move where you land on your front. She landed down and she sold the ribs, and I was just like, yes, fucking yes, because in any other you've seen wrestlers and you still see it, like Seth Rollins does it occasionally. What's it referred to where you only is it own heart selling or something? Where you only it's selective selling. You only sell when you're in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Is that Owen Hart selling? Yeah. Seth Rollins was a culprit of it a couple of months back.
I'm a culprit of that.
But yeah, she even when she wasn't taking the heat, she was still referring back to the same product. But I was like, yeah, spot on. That was really cool. But of course, Ronda Rousey retained.
Did you expect anything else?
Yeah, exactly. I think we all.
Who the fuck is ever going to take it off her?
I imagine it's going to be a
Brock Lesnar. Yes.
It'll be, I imagine
Brock at Lesnar.
I don't know. Maybe Charlotte is the only viable person.
I reckon maybe Natalia.
Yeah, Natalia.
Oh, Natalia.
I reckon Ronda will turn on her after losing her dad.
I don't know.
The crowd because the crowd are just going to get behind her, aren't they? She just lost her dad.
They're not twins. I guess so. You can't really, but then it depends. It's on what either want them to do. But either way, I can't see them taking it off at any time.
And I'd have Ronda as a big bad heel.
Yeah, she's definitely suited to being a heel better.
She looks like one.
But
yeah, she's
got that scowl, which suits it, doesn't it? But again, she can't. But the heel has to carry the match most of the time.
True.
You know what I mean? And she's not ready for that yet. Which is why Kurt Angle. When he got brought in, that was kind of okay because he had a wrestling background, so he could wrestle a match. It wasn't exactly pro wrestling, but he was the majority of, you know what I mean. And they weren't very long matches either when he started. and he got the belt after like a year or so. But you know, we shall see. So on to our main event of the evening.
Woo.
It's Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title inside Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley as a special guest referee. Hang on a minute. You've got an overbooked, stipulated main event. You've got a red cage with a roof on it. AJ and Joe are feuding over your main belt. When did WWE become mid-2000s TNA? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You know, it's just like, hey, you know that company that tried to put it to us but weren't very good? Let's be them.
Let's do them, yeah.
Let's show them how to actually not do it. So anyway, so Strowman was cashing in his Money in the Bank contract for this match. One of only 3 other people to do it. Well, he's one of the 3. You get what I mean. Rob Van Dam did it against John Cena
I can't
at
believe
ECW One Night Stand
like
06, and John Cena cashed in on CM Punk for the 1000th episode of Raw. Which were they were 1-on-1 for it, so they were making a thing like that. I saw on Facebook. But yeah, it made sense with his character as a face character anyway. He was like, I'm not gonna be one of these people who sneaks up on you behind my back, because I don't need to do that.
Well, clearly you did.
Well, yeah, obviously in hindsight it would have been, it's the best way to do it. But anyway, so Foley fucked up a 3 count, which was interesting. Well done, Mick.
Yeah, but he can't count to fucking 2 anyway.
Actually, to be fair, Roman's shoulder was off the mat before he did count to 3, so technically he did kick out.
I didn't see this. What happened?
It was just Roman kicked out really late, and because I imagine because of how much Braun was pushing down on him to count 3. So 1, 2, and as he literally got to here, Roman lifted his shoulder up, so he did get his shoulder off the mat, but Mick's hand still hit the mat. So everyone was like, "Whoa!" and he was just like, "No, it was a 2, it was a 2." His shoulder was up, it was a 2. So it was kind of like a miscommunication. It wasn't as smooth as it, you know what I mean? It's still at 3. There was not really much else in this match that I wrote down, apart from until Drew and Dolph came out. I was like, oh, all right. And then Rollins and Ambrose came back out as well.
This was really awkward.
When they came
out for ages.
When they came out, I was like, oh, okay, I can actually watch this now. This is actually a worthwhile match. Now Rollins and Ambrose have come back out. But they literally only came out for the table spot, and that really pissed me off. That was the only reason that those 2 teams came down. There was the spot where they're all laid out on top of the cell, and someone shared it saying, "Andy's coming." It's just like, well played. And then Rollins and Dolph like clash heads, both their heads against the cell. They fall off Shawn Michaels style, and they did it purely for the spot. Like there was no build to it.
No need for it.
I hated it purely just to get a reaction, and it's like, you know what? Like like people accuse the indies of not building towards spots and just doing them for the sake of it, which the main event of All In did, but they had time restrictions, so that's kind of forgivable. And but it was you know what? And you expect WWE to be better. I think that's the main thing. You kind of expect it in other places, because sometimes the wrestling psychology isn't always as great, but the WWE you expect that from. But anyway, holy shit, it was Brock. This somehow felt fresh. I was like, oh, fucking brilliant. Glad you're here, mate. After like months of being like, get you the fuck off my screen. As long as he's not the champion and he's coming in, he's beating people up. I actually don't mind Brock Lesnar. I actually do not mind him. Alex, thoughts? Because you didn't like Lesnar at all, do you?
I still don't like Lesnar.
Do you not like him?
I still think he's a prick.
I like this.
I think they should have waited a bit longer before it.
I kind of agree, but then at the same time, he does want. He wants his title back. That's fair enough. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to play into that.
I know, but I would have waited, and then I'd have had him like come back and be like, "I'm back, bitch. I want my title."
Well, it's because also you've got to keep on him because he's hot, because he's about to go back to UFC, and you can tell he's going back to UFC because he's slimmed down loads. He's cut loads of body weight.
Gone off the roids.
But this I genuinely was like, you know, when he came in, kicked the door down, I was like, fucking hell, that's quite cool, that's really powerful. And then, like, Mick Foley got attacked by Heyman with some pepper spray, which was like, alright, there was no actual need for that because it's a no DQ match, so why are you taking out Mick Foley? It's not like he's going to stop anything. You know, it's, I don't know. So then Lesnar gets in the ring, batters Roman and Brock with broken bits of tables, hits an F5 on both of them and walks out. Statement made. Fucking brilliant. Where are you going to go from here? Come on. Is Roman going to crawl over, get the definitive pin? You know, and then Braun's going to say he's been cheated out of it. Is Strowman going to roll over, get the 3 count? Everyone's going to go mental? No. They fucking called off a Hell in a Cell match. This unbelievably pissed me off. Like, to the point where I like...
Cancelled your network.
I don't get... Literally, to the point I've actually cancelled my network subscription. Do not give a fuck. It just, like, you know, and we did our top 10 matches, like, a couple of weeks ago on this podcast. And I said, my number 1 match is Undertaker versus Mick Foley, Mankind. Because of the amount of punishment Mick Foley went threw off the cell, chokeslammed through the cage, dropped onto thumbtacks twice, and then took a tombstone as well as having his face hitting the canvas, his tooth going through his lip into his nose. Undertaker had a broken fucking foot as well, which was revealed to me at that podcast, which makes it all the more amazing that the two of those guys had the match that they had. And they get fucking called off. Gets fucking called off after a couple of F5s. Fuck you, WWE. Absolutely fuck you. This was nothing more than a fuck you to the fans, and I refuse to support a company who does not, like, you know, listen or respect their own fans. And just, oh, you'll give us your money anyway, so give us a fuck. We'll do what we want. Fucking rant over. I was so pissed off that this didn't have a winner. So pissed off. You know, just throughout. But I mean, you know, because like they've set because they're not even having the rematch at Super Showdown because that's already set for a 6-man tag match. What I have seen though is a leaked footage for when they go back to Saudi Arabia, which is called like the Crown Jewel or something like that. Crown Jewel pay-per-view. Something like this.
That's in Asia, isn't it? Crown Jewel.
It's Saudi Arabia again.
Is it? I thought it was Asia.
No, it's Saudi Arabia again.
I thought it's not the greatest. Hell in the Cell.
No, it's the
greatest.
And the graphic is Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar. So assumingly they're having a triple threat match in Saudi Arabia. But I don't care because I won't be watching. So fuck you, WWE. You pissed me off. I'm done.
I give up. That's it.
I'm done. I will read Bleacher Report in the morning after and listen to what Dave Meltzer has to say and essentially feedback on what they've got to say from the future for FedWatch. I'm fucking done. I'm literally, like I said this on the last podcast, I will not enjoy WWE anymore. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm fucking fuming.
We will still do.
Of course we'll still do FedWatch. I'm now counting on the rest of my lovely co-hosts to actually provide some analysis and tell me what happened. I'll just go through the motions and say shit. So, let us know if you also hated Hell in a Cell as much as we did. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't hate Hell in a Cell, I just hated the ending. The first match with Orton and Hardy was pretty good. The Raw tag team match was pretty good. Both the women's title match was actually decent, and the main WWE title match. They were decent matches. They just weren't in the right setting.
Yeah,
wasn't right for the feuds. They were good matches, but they weren't
all good matches. But a lot of it was just bullshit finishes.
Yeah, bullshit finishes, and just nah.
It's sort of what happens when you just sort of like book yourselves into this corner, though, isn't it? You've got to have a Hell in a Cell match because you're having a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it was, no, I'm done. Anyway, folks, we'll see you we'll see you next week for a brand new series of pints and pile drivers. Pilot episode coming out in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be
drink
good.
to that.
Hey, clink. fucking funny. Anyway, folks, this has been a few good marks. Thank you very much for listening. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go and listen to. If you listen to us on Spreaker, well done. Go and listen to it all again on YouTube. Or if you're on YouTube, go and listen to us on Spreaker. Don't forget to check out our blogger page for any articles when any of us have actually got the time to write wrestling articles, which hasn't been a lot lately.
No, it has not.
But anyway, thanks for listening, folks, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye then.
Fuck you, WWE.